Saw some of this on the way home from Ron's coming over the hill, but there was no good spot to get any shot of it. And what we saw then was to the west. That's dead north. So, yeah, trees are pretty much northwest. There's to the west. Thought I'd get that for you. It's pretty cool. And actually the camera's picking it up pretty good. Really. Glad I came out to check the traveler when we got home. I didn't think it looked like it moved much. The idler pulley for the belt is bearing's getting bad in it, and I wondered. So it's spinning at the moment. Hopefully it is in the morning. And I'll have to see if I can find another idler pulley or bust it out and try to find another bearing for it. But anyway, other than hearing some cars on the highway, and of course, car coming down the road over there, lots of crickets. And, oh hell, what time is it? We are about 45 minutes after sunset, according to the news. So, there's the end of the Friday. Well, looky there. This morning's answer to last night's sunset. Yeah, lots of detail right there that's just washed out, but I can't tip my phone enough. Might be better when I get up on top, but yeah, it might be gone by the time I get there too. So anyway, there we go. There's your Saturday morning. Yeah, I lied to you last night. I went ahead and bent those pieces anyway. Worked out pretty good. There's slots there, and that'll pull right up pretty nice. See, I'm off a little there. The washer will help pull that down on the surface. And I had to straighten that angle just a little bit so it'd lay in there right, and the holes lined up just right. 5/8 bolt, because that's what the hole is in the red piece. These are actually 3/4. I'm not gonna worry about it. You know, I mean, if that was a 500-gallon tank, it'd be different. But speaking of that, kind of irked me. Auction was yesterday down at Woodburn, and they had same brand, same setup, just totally different carriage. 100-gallon tank had the same pump that this had on it, and it looked pretty good in the pictures. I really wanted to go down and take a look at it. I figured, oh hell yeah, you know, get it for a couple $100 bucks. Yeah, I went for $500. Go figure. So, Mom called me this morning and said, hey, I only had one steer in last night for grain. Only one would come under it. The rest stayed out. Then she says, there was only one in this morning. Same one, apparently he hadn't gone back out. So we get out here to entice them. Basically crowded them up underneath it, and they finally came through. There was none in here, so the one figured it out. And Jackson up there, I can't see because the sun's on my side of the screen. Jackson with his head in the feeder. Once he went through, most of the others decided, hey, oh, we can go under it. And you should have seen the flies. They all went under right here where Red's standing.
Yeah.
And the flies literally from the back rubber up to the beam. You couldn't see through it. But now they're in to get some grain.
And you know what?
And they got to be in here to get water too. So, and after walking underneath there, there's not near as many flies on them.
Huh?
So,
You know.
hopefully they figure this out and they go back out. So now the flies are bugging me. Happy cows. I haven't been on this little piece in a while. Unfortunately, there's really not a lot there. I mean, over there is good and green, and down there is good and green, but a lot of this up here just ain't growing. And I had to go play with the traveler and make it move. While I'm out here, that one's in close enough. I'm going to go ahead and drag it out. Look at that. electric bike. Right on by. So as you've seen, the steers finally decided to go in anyway. Only one went back out so far. Years ago, the main barn where the cows go in and out the gate in the middle, we first put one up there and the cows would not go under it. Ended up taking one of my old show cows and putting a halter on her and leading her under it. And then the others went, oh, well, if she can go under it, we can. Yeah, they know you're going to put a halter on those steers. And Jackson's halter broke, but, you know, he's just halter broke enough to tie and lead her on without getting killed. So, anywho, see what the rest of the day brings. It's getting warmer again. Yay. Well, there it is. Sway bar's on. I think the sway bar's enough. I haven't swung it back and forth yet, but that's what I did for supporting that. Piece of 3/4 angle bolted and welded this one to it and just strapped it. A couple zip ties. Because it doesn't, I don't want it solid, but give if it needs to. And I'm just thinking, I was thinking doing something to the drawbar. Come out so it couldn't set down. And I'm thinking more like the old rears pack tanks. They had a couple pieces of flat iron that went in on the 2-point and came up over the top of the top link, and they had a hook on the top link. When you raised it up, the flat iron would drop down here, and you could set it down just a little bit, and it hooked on the hook. So I think that's what I'm going to do, probably with a piece of chain. It doesn't have to go from out here. I can wrap it around right there and just come up and hook it on a hook. It'll work. Be cheap and easy. I can just weld a freaking hook on that. But in the meantime, I've been back out to the Big Traveler 3 times. Get it moving again. I do not have a freaking idler pulley here. I thought I did. And then I'm thinking maybe the one that I'm thinking about is the one I put on there about 3 or 4 years ago. So that kind of screws me there. I got some flat ones, but no V's, and the flat ones, instead of being 3.5 inch, are like 6 to 12 inch. So, and I ain't finding anything online that I can have before the middle of the week. So I'm thinking about running the town, maybe. We'll see. And Ty already left a little early. She ain't feeling good today. I don't blame her. And Brooke actually came out and visited some today. Most of you don't know, she picked up a boyfriend, and then she moved out. So, been kind of nice. She's a picky eater. We can have whatever the hell we want now. She hates mushrooms, Becky, and I love mushrooms. You know, that kind of stuff. So, and while she was out here, I mean, gee, she's a diesel mechanic / power generation technician, whatever. Well, her boyfriend's body man, mechanic, whatever. He recently went to work for Power Rents, and I know the guys that own that. So apparently he's happy working there so far, and they're happy having him. But had our diesel leak on here that I didn't find it, but I had a sneaking suspicion. And he was here, so Tyler asked him, hey, help me with this. Yeah, the injector lines were loose on the pump. Now, the John Deere's were loose first of the summer. This was loose now. I'm just going to say it's something to do with banjo type injector lines. That one's not banjo, but the 2 around back, actually the other 3 are banjos. They're all this style line, but they're all banjos, so you can get on them. I don't know why they did it that way. They should have just gone banjos and come out the end, but you know, that's too easy. So anyway, they were all loose, and she found a couple loose bolts up underneath in the front. I'm not sure where they're at. She couldn't do anything with them, so I got to take a look at that. But I want to get the traveler still sprinkling, but I kind of got to get it moving. So I'm just going to say I'm done with this, other than, say, throwing a chain on that just so it'll stay up. Ain't going to be that hard a deal to do. Better not be, anyway. And yeah, it did settle a little bit. We had it up a little. I slid that under when I put it under there, and it's sitting on it now. So anyway, I don't know what else I'll show you today. This might be it. Never know. But say, I'm going to see if I can find something in town and make that thing work. I could have shown you when I was up there, because I was dodging big, huge raindrops and trying to keep from getting sprayed. That would be the idler pulley. Okay, 3.5 inch OD. So that one's pretty deep. It's probably only maybe 2.25 ID. But she is now froze up solid. You can see where my fingernail is. That seal is pushed out. This side looks all right, right? Yeah, I can't make it turn now. I can't wiggle it at all. So I had this great idea. I've been looking online. And yeah, I can have one of these online by Wednesday. I don't want it Wednesday. I want it today or tomorrow. Even Amazon Prime. One said, oh, Tuesday. Possibly, as early as. Yeah, well, that means maybe it'd show up Monday. I checked our local hardware/farm stores. Do you think they would have a V? Oh, hell no. They have flat ones. They have all kinds of rope pulleys. Ace Hardware. They didn't even show a V idler pulley. Lots of rope pulleys, though. And they did show a couple of flat ones. I kind of thought they might be something, you know, people might go there for lawnmower parts or something, because, I mean, a lot of riding lawnmowers, they use flats and V's on the deck. I've replaced or repaired a lot of mowers, so I've taken a lot of these off and put them back on after fixing stuff. Then I had an idea. I know what's about the right size. That right there, with a little wear. That is that's off a Squeak, that white flatbed that we don't use because it doesn't run. The reason she squeaks is if you align everything up perfect for the serpentine belt within 30 seconds to 3 miles, it'll throw the belt. If everything is not lined up, we actually have if that's straight, we actually have the power steering pump cocked like this, with this being the driver's side toward the back, in order to keep the belt on. And because it's cocked like that, that sucker squeaks. A little water on there or something on the pulley, it'll quit squeaking until the water dries off. Anyway, this is one of the 2 or 3 used idler pulleys for that serpentine belt that happened to be in a truck. Bearing's fine. Spins nicely. So I took a bolt and some washers and threw a bushing in there. Went up and swapped them. Well, the way everything is to hold this, as soon as you start getting the turbine to turn, this thing turns, I think which way it goes this way. It turns from about here to about here, and the belt is over here. So, ixnay that idea. What I'm looking at, this is actually a really good pulley. I'm not sure, but I think it may actually be solid in here. And I think I'm going to try to do a little turning if I can get to the lathe. This is getting really old. And I see somebody today got some O-rings out, left them on top of the bench, and they belong in a cabinet underneath the lathe. But anyway, I think I'm just going to try to turn that out. And this thing there, as I can tell, the plastic comes around the edge of the bearing, I think, because I couldn't get it to budge. I thought I'd just press it out, and it didn't want to move. So I'm just going to cut the freaking plastic. And there I have a bearing. I'm probably not going to do it tonight because it's getting late enough. and I really don't want to have to move all that shit to get to the lathe. So I think it's going to, put everything else off one more day. I think it's going to be a tomorrow project. I mean, least I can do is make it work. Worst I can do is mess it up, as I almost drop it on the floor and I can see it getting bent and then being screwed up. But if I can do that, like I said, I got 3 more used ones just like this. The bearings are all right. All I got to do is use them. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So with that, I'm going to bid you all adieu. Oh, by the way, see, they're the same size on the outside. And if this wasn't, if this was solid, I'd put it in the lathe and I'd turn a freaking groove in it. I can do that. I got the technology to do that, but I can't turn a groove in that. There won't be anything left of it. If I could get a 1/4 inch groove, might be enough to keep the belt on it. I don't know, but either way, I can't do it, so I'm not going to. And in case anybody's thinking, the grooved pulleys that have got the lips on the edge, yes, I thought about that. There's a couple used ones in that pickup too. But even if you turn the grooves out, that outer lip isn't very high, and I just don't think it's enough. This has a lot of lead, a hell of a lot of lead. You can see how far down in there the belt rides all the time. So this is all lead to keep it from getting out of whack. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you all have had a good Saturday. I'm going to call it a day.